Scotland's prison service is under pressure. Around 8,000 people are behind bars on any given day. Like the rest of the UK, there are problems here with overcrowding and understaffing. Unlike the rest of the UK, the death rate has more than doubled in the last decade. A new study shared exclusively with Channel 4 News tonight reveals record numbers are dying inside Scotland's prisons. 64 people died in 2024. That's a sharp 60% increase on the previous year when there were 40 deaths. There were a record number of suicides, 17 people taking their own lives. Before now, 53 was the highest number of deaths recorded in Scottish prisons, but that was during the pandemic in 2021. The research was led by Professor Sarah Armstrong at Glasgow University, who says the findings are deeply concerning.
Scotland has a higher death rate in its prisons than England and Wales by some margin, and I think there's a sense in the UK somehow that Scotland, the part of the UK's north, is somehow a little bit more progressive or does things a little bit better, or the problems are not as severe. In fact, they're worse. Scotland's mortality rate, according to the Council of Europe's official statistics, puts it in the same place as Azerbaijan and Moldova and other countries which have real democratic deficits.
Is this about overcrowding in prisons?
The problem is actually opposite. It's one of isolation, and we're seeing that having its effects. People are not getting out of their cells, they're not having as much social contact, and it's leading to huge problems inside prisons. Scotland uses its criminal justice system, including its prison system, as a way to respond to a national drugs crisis. It also uses it as a way to respond to deprivation. We're still seeing people imprisoned for shoplifting, which is a sign not only of deprivation, but also often of drug use. There's a real sense by reading death investigations of complacency, that people who end up in prison just die.
Behind the statistics are faces and families.
She was here for 3 years, stayed in a wee student flat at the other side of the park.
Linda's daughter Katie committed a drink driving offence while studying at Glasgow University. She took her own life inside a young offenders institution in 2018. Linda has worked as a researcher on this study.
It's what Katie would want us to do, but it's also just socially unjust that we have this situation in Scotland. It's not just families that feel that impact. There's the prisoners that live with prisoners that take their own life or have experienced drug overdoses or have, and many times prisoners are the people that are left to find their cellmate deceased.
Deaths in prison in Scotland trigger fatal accident inquiries, which are like inquests in England. These don't apportion blame or hold anyone accountable, even where a death, like Katie's, is ruled to be preventable. Linda believes there should be a new independent body set up to follow up on recommendations.
I think what's really important about an oversight mechanism is it has the statutory powers to make change happen. Because we know just now fatal accident inquiries have recommendations that can be all but ignored.
The Scottish Prison Service told us their analysis of data currently records 14 deaths by suicide in 2024. A spokesperson said, "Every death, whether in prison custody or in our communities, is a tragedy for all those who knew and supported the individual. We are determined to deliver systemic change at pace to how we support people in our care in a way which will be enduring, transparent and impactful." Report after report has failed to force change, which for some feels so urgent, but so very far away.